Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Harsha. Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can also hear me, and I can see the recording has started.
Yes, that's
Yep.
right.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seems good.
So yeah, let's wait for other people who will be joining soon. So
Yeah, absolutely. Just a couple of more minutes. You get the option at the bottom to share your screen as well.
let me try that. So share my.
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, I think the way these meetings are set up is a way that you can share your screen when you're joining as a moderator, as a host, right?
Mm,
So that's why you have the sharing option. Okay, all good.
okay. But one thing, Harsha, because I cannot move my slides because I'm also. Or never mind. I will switch to here. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah. That's okay.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I have the slides also open. If you want me to share, I can also do that.
No, I mean you can share when you do the concluding part. So
Correct, correct.
yep.
Right. Okay,
Okay.
all good. Welcome, attendees.
Yes. Welcome everyone. Yeah. Let's wait one more minute. So we'll give a chance for more people to join, and then we will start. All right, we can start. So, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to everyone joining this session. So, welcome to our second session for AEM User Group Benelux chapter. And today we have a really special guest with us, Jineet, who will be talking about the very hot topic of AI, agentic AI, and MCP agents in AEM, and their practical use. So let's go through some housekeeping slides before we actually begin our topic. So let me go through some house rules that we have. So yeah, these user groups are only focused as a community, and it is not allowed to self-promote yourself or pitching or doing sales activities or any kind. And yeah, don't you are not allowed to contact people outside of the user group without their consent, and also it's not allowed to share their information without their consent. And just a gentle reminder to everyone that this group meeting is going to be recorded. So if you do not wish to participate in a live recorded session, then you are free to watch the recorded session at a later time. And just to make sure that we have everyone's consent to record the sessions for our chapter meeting, that is today on June 17th and 4 p.m. Central European time. So what's happening around the world of user groups? So we have a brand new AEM user group, which is called a Global Developer Collective. So Justin and Tad are going to be the leaders of this group, and this is meant to be to connect the AEM enthusiasts from around the world. So we have plenty of AEM user groups per region, but now Justin and Tad are trying to unite them on a global level. And they are already hosting their very first session, the kickoff session, on June 25th. And they are going to talk about a complex AEM edge delivery services integration stories that they have encountered. So if you can make it, please try to join and participate. And what's happening around other user groups? So in month of July, we have two more user group meetings. So first user group meeting would be on July the 2nd, and this will be hosted by AEM DACH chapter, that's the Germany, Austria, and Switzerland chapter. And they are going to talk about how to build an AI-powered tagging engine on AEM assets. Then again in the month of July, we have a second session, and which will be hosted by the AEM Champion Office Hours user group. And they are going to have a panel, and they are going to discuss about AI assisted coding for AEM, the tools and the workflows, and what are the best practices. And our very own guest speaker, Jineet, is, I think, going to be on the panel in that user group meeting as well. So be sure to attend it and yeah, hear about the best practices. Now, so let's start with our topic. So today we have Jineet, and Jineet is also a user group leader for the London chapter of AEM user group. And today he is going to talk about the agenting AI and MCP agents, which are in action, their practical real life use cases, some demo, and also there will be a slot for question and answers. Um, yeah, so I'm going to hand it over to Jineet. Let me make sure that Jineet has his presenter rights. So let me quickly, yes. Yes, Jineet, you should be able to present now. I have made you a presenter.
Yes, thank you. I was
Okay.
just trying to figure
I
that
will
out.
stop sharing now so you can take it over.
Yes, please. All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Shruti, for the introduction. So I'm Jineet. I'm I'm working as a software engineer in JP Morgan Chase. Have been into AEM for more than a decade. Recently, I'm working more of integrations, automations, and AI in AEM. And I'm very happy to be speaking about this agentic AI capabilities in AEM. So let me start screen share. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, we can see
Yes,
it.
Jineet.
Great. Uh,
We're seeing both the presentation and the speaker notes.
right. Let me. Is it better now?
Yeah, now we see the
Yes.
slides. Yes.
Okay, good. Give me 1 second. I need to stop and share again. Okay. So yes. So regarding today's agenda, we'll be talking about AI assistant in AEM, which is a conversational interface built right into AEM. The second is agentic AI, uh, where I'll be talking about different agents which are enabled in AEM. And the third is about MCP servers, what it can do in combination with agentic AI. And lastly, I'll also be talking about local development with AI. So all of these will have a few demos as well. So we will see what these agents and MCP servers can do in action. So before we start, so as we know, we have AI in AEM. So it has a three horizons as of now. The first one is assist, which, as you might have seen uh, early on, it was more of a conversational kind of an experience where you can just ask questions to the AI assistant, and it can just give you some relevant answers or provide documentation links and so on. The second horizon is basically augment or agentic horizon, which does a few work based on task which is given in the prompt, and it comes back as an output, which is maybe like a content update or publishing something and so on. So we'll cover Horizon 1 and Horizon 1 and 2 both today. And the third one is the automate horizon, where agents from one stream can talk to agents in another stream, which will be coming soon now. But I think Adobe has already rolled out a few capabilities which can talk about or demonstrate what Horizon 3 can do. But today we'll just be concentrating on the assist and augment horizons. And the first one is AI assistant. So in AEM, as I was just mentioning about this AI assistant, it's basically a conversational agent which is sitting in AEM across three different places. The first one is AEM Experience Hub. The second is in Author UI, directly where you have your sites and assets. And the third one is in Cloud Manager, where you generally check for your builds and deployments. So what it does, so it basically is provides a lot of documentation related or guides, which can be working across your AEM sites or assets or dynamic media or say forms and Cloud Manager as well. So it can surface all the documentation regarding any problems which you face in day to day, or say you have your team member or author, operational user who is not able to perform some actions. So uh, he or she can directly query uh, based on the problems and get a quick response using that chat interface, which is directly in AI Assistant. Now, this AI assistant is available in AEM as a cloud service by default, and it is also backported to AEM 6.5 AMS or LTS. And as of now, it's not available on on-premise setups of AEM. So let's see what prompts you can give in AI assistant. So in this slide, basically you can prompt based on any sites related queries or assets or cloud manager. So you can give a basic query as well, like how do I create editable templates, or what are the core components, or how do I author certain component which is inside uh, a parent container, right? So all those things you can query using this AI assistant, and it will give you a brief steps of how to resolve those. It can also link to experience leak community articles for further instructions and guidance based on the query which you have. And as any AI tools which you use, like ChatGPT or Claude, there are certain do's and don'ts which you need to follow. So you need to be very specific with your ask. And again, the benefit is it can be in natural language. So you can use any form of language which you want, as long as it's in English, and it can correctly understand the intent of the request which is given. So as long as those are honored and maintained, then you will get the right answers in the AI assistant. So this is one of the examples of how I was able to give a prompt, which is like, how do I author a card component inside my top sellers container? So as you can see on the left hand side, I have this card container, right? A top seller container, and I want to author a card component within this. So, say as a first time user, I would not know how to do this. So, instead of reaching out to a developer or someone who has implemented this feature, I can just query this in my AI assistant on right side, and the output will be something like this. Step one is select the top sellers container, and then open the component picker, and then add the cards component. So you'll get a definite list of all the instructions which are required for this case. Moving on, the second slide I have here is from Cloud Manager interface. So this is mainly for developers or DevOps folks who want to figure out why the deployment pipeline has failed. So so right now, if you don't use AI assistant, the only way to debug a failed pipeline is to go to that execution, download the logs, and then you manually need to understand what went wrong based on the error logs. So one benefit of using AI assistant is you can simply query something like this, like help me troubleshoot the issue, by just providing the pipeline ID along with the execution, and it will say that this is the error and how you need to fix this. So it will be very, very beneficial for developers as well. Now, a few things to keep in mind while using this AI assistant is that your project specific context is not exposed to this AI assistant. So, whatever information you are getting as part of AI assistant is mainly based on the publicly available Adobe documentation, and it will not have any access to your code base or any custom logic which is built upon that. So that way it is kind of, you can say that it is secure, it is privacy by design, so you will not be able to expose all those details. And as I just mentioned, it is available for cloud service and AMS, and it says only about the product knowledge, it does not have any other scope. And since this all content is generated by AI, so you always need to verify the response it generated as part of the response it gave. And yeah, I think one more thing is you can also create support tickets directly from the AI assistant. So you don't need to go to Experience League and then go to support and create a support case altogether. So it can save a lot of clicks. You can directly trigger this from AI assistant. The uh, the only requirement is that you need to have a support admin permission enabled for your user. So these are the things which are important when we talk about AI assistant. So I'll talk about more, but I have a few demos lined up which I can actually show how AI assistant is and how agentic AI also works hand in hand. So I'll move to agentic AI, and feel free to let me know if you have any questions, either in chat or you can unmute yourself and feel free to interrupt me and I can take up the question. Okay, so let's talk about agents in AEM. So agents in AEM are basically categorized into three sections, which is brand experience agent, then we have content advisor agent, and then we have the governance agent. So the brand experience agent is broken down into three, which is experience modernization, experience production, and development agent. Content advisor agent, we have discovery and optimization. And for governance agent, we have a very nice governance agent, which I will just show you of how each of these agents work. Now, to get into details, I'll just walk you through what each of these agent is, and then I'll promise I'll start the demo. So the brand experience agent is basically about all about content. Like if you need to update a content based on the prompt, this is the agent behind the scenes which does the job. So experience production agent, it basically you can just hand off all your content intensive tasks to this agent, which can take care of updating the content, creating of the forms, handling any communications, and so on. Now, this is about experience production agent, and the first one which talks about here is experience modernization agent. So this falls under the brand experience agent, but it basically is a separate tool outside of AEM, which basically you can use that to migrate your websites, which is not on AEM, to EDS. So if you have, say, a Figma design, so you can just simply copy paste the link of that Figma design into the prompt and say that you want to convert this Figma design into EDS, and it will do the job. So I'm not going to talk more about this experience modernization because it's a slightly different tool which sits outside of AEM, but I can show what experience production agent does and what deployment agent does. So talking about deployment agent, it helps troubleshoot the pipeline, which we just saw in the previous slides. So behind the scenes, the AI assistant uses the development agent which is a part of this brand experience agent. And here below are the few prompts which each of the agents you can give and see what it generates. So moving on to the content advisor agent. So this is a very good agent. I'm sure your content authors would be very happy with this because let's be honest, in AEM, to search an asset or any content is not very easy, right? Say if you have tens of thousands of content in your AEM in assets, and it might not be well tagged or well organized. And if you want to search across certain content, then it is a very challenging task. So this is solved by this content advisor agent. So you can literally use any of the prompts which you see on the screen and search your asset. So you can even search based on the file format, based on any metadata, within the last few days if you have modified, and so on. So there is no limitations on how you can search your data. So this is really very useful agent as of now, and I'm sure this will be very liked as well. So this is about discovery. The second is the content optimization. So if you have dynamic media license, then this comes very handy. So you can basically give your prompts and optimize your assets so that if you want to create a rendition, you can just give a prompt and say like create a rendition for my Instagram story, which will basically give in a perfect height and width, and it will give you a dynamic media URL which you can give it to your marketing team directly. So you don't need to go to dynamic media and create a few renditions just for this Instagram story. So you can do this directly using AI prompt. Okay, so moving on, the governance agent is basically a brand compliant agent which works on your AEM, and whatever content which you upload to AEM or will try to publish it, it will check if those content is brand compliant and whether it follows, say, your accessibility standards or your brand or legal and so on. So prerequisite for this governance agent is you need to define your brand guidelines in AEM, and whenever you upload any content or write any content to it, then it will go via this governance agent and it will check for brand compliance. And if certain content does not meet the brand compliance guidelines, then it will be flagged. The second part of this governance agent is it can also help you with your audit requirements and your permissions. So if you are using Content Hub within AEM as a cloud service, you can basically monitor all the user rules and the group membership it has. And it basically is very helpful for audits if it is happening at your organizations and so on. And the last is the digital rights management or DRM. Uh, Basically, this is for your assets which has any regulatory requirements like ensuring the assets are not expired and if the expired assets are used in any of the reference pages. So maybe you can just query something like this: find me assets without an expiry date, or find me assets which are expiring in the next few days. So you can take action based on those expiry related dates and then ensure that your content is meeting your regulatory requirements. Okay, so we will now
Hey,
jump to.
Jineet, I think this is a good segue because we have a question from Kapil in the chat. If you
Right.
can access the chat,
Okay,
otherwise I'll be happy to read it out for you.
sure. Okay, the question is, are these agents or assistant a completely different service or you get them with the product? Also, please give an idea about token utilization. Yes, so this is a good question. So the agents and assistant are are basically you get them with AEM, right? So all of these you can get it as part of AEM as a cloud service in the same contract. Now, there's a caveat to this. Not everything which I'm going to say here is going to be as part of the same contract. You might need to reach out to uh, your Adobe team, the Adobe contractual team, and to check which all agents can be made available. So because these are just rolled out recently, so you might, like, I don't have that knowledge like which one is included in the contract or not. But if you want to test this out, you can use that directly by going to aem.now, and you can get a free 30 days playground to test all these AI agents for free, and you don't have any obligations to contract with this one. About the token utilization, again, I'm not sure if I have answer to this, but um, I don't think as of now there is any limits to how much you can use the AI in AEM. Okay, the next question is for integration with Figma. Is it working only with EDS or AEM as a cloud service as well? No, as of now, it is only working with EDS. So it only supports the block related development. It doesn't support AEM as a cloud service. So you can only migrate your websites to EDS as of now. Okay, with that, I will now start. So I was talking about this playground to explore the AI features. So you can just go to this aem.now website, just give your email ID. It can be personal as well. And then you can just click on continue. And within 5 minutes, you will have your AEM as a cloud service environment ready, where you can just try out any of these features for AI. I will just paste this link. Okay, so I have already done this setup, so I will just move to my instance, which we see here. So as part of this 30 days free trial, I'm able to spin up my dedicated to me. I'm able to spin up this new instance, and this is the site, which is again a fictitious site called Frescopa. So this is the homepage. It has universal editor embedded into it, right? And I can see it has AI assistant here on the sites as well as on this experience hub page. Okay, so let's see a few examples of the governance agent. So I have a few prompts already available with me. So one of is, I just want to see what are my brand guidelines. So I'm just going to give this prompt. And as we see, it's behind the scenes, it is triggering a governance agent, a brand governance agent. And then we have the output here. So we have a total of 7 guidelines which are defined for this instance, and it is for Frescopa coffee, and it talks about a few text related guidelines, a few image related guidelines. Okay, so this is fine. I mean, it is expected because if I see on my screen on left hand side, I have this governance context, and I already have a few policies already made available, which is this. So this is exactly the output I'm seeing here. Now let's do one thing. Let's try to create a content, or let's update a content, and let's see if that update meets my brand compliance or not. So what I'm going to do is, I have this prompt with me, and I'm going to say that on this particular page, I want to update the text, which is this to this, and I also want to change the CTA. So this is my homepage, which I just showed, and let's see how this works now.
Hey, Jineet, Benjamin says that he doesn't see anything happening on the screen, but we can see you interacting with the agents invoking them. So
The screen
Benjamin,
is stuck or something, so you can try to rejoin. I think that
yeah,
should help.
yeah. And Jineet, while this happens, whenever you're ready, there are a couple of questions again on the chat, but
Right.
even if you probably have time.
Okay. I think there's one question from Bhavik. Does this require user permission on AEM cloud? I think it does. To access this AI agents, you do need uh, the permissions. Yes. Um, there's a lot
Yeah,
of
there
questions.
is one more question by Kushal. Yeah, is the governance agent a passive or an active agent, which will be able to alert me, for example, based on the preferences, like inform me before the expiry of assets, or only work when he will send a prompt.
Yeah. So for this one, yes, it's not an active one. So only when you query certain assets, then it will give you the response. But that's just for assets. But with the one prompt which I am trying right now, which is this one, it also uses the governance agent behind the scenes. And before I create my content, it will tell me whether my content is brand compliant or not. So based on different use cases, it can be either active or passive. But for the one which you have mentioned, for the expiry assets, it is a passive one. So you need to give a prompt and then you can get the response. Okay. So coming back to my prompt which I've given, so it has done a few reasoning behind this. Let's see what has happened, whether it understood the prompt or not. So it says update the hero headline to this and remove the section from the home page. And from coffee quiz section, make it the CTA as engaging and change the CTAs to this. Now, this is okay. It has understood my prompt correctly, but before I proceed, it has given me a disclaimer that the new hero headline, which I'm suggesting, is off the brand because it is too generic or lacks evocative or sensory language and so on. Right. So it clearly pointed me that my content is not brand compliant. So I have two options: either to view my brand guidelines or generate a page, or maybe changes some wordings around so that it is brand compliant. So let's do that. I have a prompt ready for that. So what I will say is, instead of your coffee your way, use this text crafted to your taste, perfected by precision. Let's see if this particular text meets the brand guidelines. Okay, so I think it's all good. So it says the content meets brand guidelines and any generation will leverage your brand. So, okay, I'll say generate the page. Okay, I think this is taking a bit time. I think we can proceed further and we can come back to this then. Okay, so I think it's done. So I can see in draft in author mode how this content looks like. So it has created a launch for me, and this is the update which I've requested. So if it is looking all good, then I can publish this launch, and I think that should be it. But I'll not do that. I'll just show you one other example of how this AI prompts can be handy. So now let me do this. I have this particular wireframe with me. So I'm sharing this on my screen. So I have this form or as a wireframe, which I can barely read, which I've received this from my creative team. Now I want to create a form out of this into AEM. Now, without AI, I would just go to my forms and create each of these fields manually. But with AI, I can simply upload this as a attachment into my prompt, and let's see how this works. Okay, so I have my prompt here, which is this. So I want to create a T request form using the attached screenshot. So this is my wireframe. So again, the agent responsible for doing this is the brand experience agent. Okay, what it says, starting creation of the form. Okay, the form is created. Let me see how the form looks like. Okay, so this is looking great. I have all the fields which were there, and it did create a very nice looking form based on the wireframe. So this is done. This is created as an adaptive form. Now I want to integrate this form into my existing AEM page. So let's do that using another prompt. So let's open this page here. So this is my page and I want to embed the form which I've created onto this page. So now I'm going to invoke the AI assistant directly on this page, and I will give this prompt. I will say that embed the form which I've created, which is this one. Yeah, so I copy the link from here and I'll paste it. So I'll say embed this form on this page, and let's see what it happens. Okay, I have one more question in the chat. The content change, is it allowed in the stage version or in the live version before publishing? So by default, it's all. So I'm assuming the question by you, Ram Kumar. It's all on like, is it updated and published? So no, by default, the only update it makes it's on author mode or in draft mode, and only when you say like, okay, I'm happy with the content which is published, then go ahead and I can publish it, or it can either create a launch. Yeah, so we have embedded the form now, and this is how it looks like. Now this page is ready to be published. Okay, I see two more questions from Kushal. So what is the main difference between the Experience Hub AI agent and the AI agent available to the authors within their own environment? I want to know, as you mentioned, the source of truth or data for both of them is Adobe documentation, and the author AI can't help me with my custom code or template. Yes. So the AI experience which you see on Experience Hub and on Author, it's exactly the same. It basically differs in terms of reference from how you're triggering your prompt from. So if it's from Experience Hub page, then it will be more of a generalized content. But if it's from your page, which is here, then I can give very contextual prompts like this on this page, right? So it clearly understands that I'm on this t.html page. So based on that, you can decide whether you want to start your prompt within the sites or you want to start your prompt on the Experience Hub page. And yes, the AI is able to retain the memory. So within the same session, I can continue and write my prompts. Or if I want to go back to a previous session, I can just select any other session and I can continue from there. So the memory is retained within the sessions. Yes. Okay. In the interest of time, I think I will proceed with the next topic, which is the MCP servers. So the MCP server is basically an interface where you can just talk to your agents directly from your AI tools. So you can either use Claude, your Chat GPT, Copilot, or Cursor. And once you have your endpoints defined in your mcp.json file within any of these tools, then you can do all these operations which I just showed directly from those tools. You don't need to log into AEM to do all these operations. So it it's a separate interface where you can work in AEM. So you don't need to log into AEM to do all these operations at all. So I will just skip these things and I can show the demo which I have. And before that, I will just talk about what different endpoints are exposed in MCP servers as of today. So one is the content endpoint. So the content endpoint is basically it defines a full CRUD operations. So you can do anything and everything on pages, content fragments, and assets. You can read, you can update, you can delete everything you can do just by using this one endpoint. So it has read and write access defined in this content. If you want to just do read operations, then the second one comes handy, which is content read only endpoint. And this is basically a safer version if you don't want to perform any write operations to this. The third one is the cloud manager one. It is mainly for DevOps related things. You can troubleshoot your pipelines from your uh, chat GPT or from your Cloud or any AI tool of your reference. And the last one is the experience governance agent. So the same example which I showed now, you can do this from your AI tools directly. So, what are the use cases and patterns for this MCP? So, it's more human centric. So, you can just like how you trigger your AI prompts, you can do this exactly using your natural language queries. And you can use this for any agentic or autonomous journey where you have, say, a steps defined like step one, I want to query uh, all my pages and find certain query. The step two could be something like update if key matches this, and third one could be like publish. So you can automate all of these journeys using MCP directly. Um, so some of the interesting MCP use cases which I've come across is like these these all, right? So I can just show the first one here as a live demo, which is basically creating a live content inventory report on demand. So this can be helpful for audit purposes or for your content authors if they want to see across multiple pages and do a report on which are the published pages, which are the pages with no tags or missing metadata, and so on. So all of this can be very useful. A few other use cases as well, but I'm not going to talk about that here. I'll just show the demo, so that will be more helpful. So I am going to use cursor for this MCP demo. And the very prerequisite is you need to set up your endpoints, which I was just talking about. So in this demo, I've set up 4 endpoints. And once you have set up this mcp.json file, then it will show up in your cursor settings and it will show that you have installed these many. So as a first step, you need to authenticate using these endpoints. So I've already authenticated to 3 endpoints. So let's authenticate to this cloud manager. So all of these uh, endpoints uses authentication, and it will always use your credentials. So whatever you're going to prompt, whatever you're going to query, it will not show as authored by AI or something like that. It will show that you are the person who has updated that piece of content. So if you don't have access to certain content, this endpoint will not be able to work on those content. Okay, so I have one prompt with me, which is this one. So let me, oops. So I'm giving this prompt to give me a health summary of all the pages within this, like what are the total number of pages, and if it's missing metadata in a few tags. So let's see how this works. Okay, so I have a free version, so it has hit my usage limit, but I have been using Claude, so I can execute the same here. So in Claude as well, I've set up the MCP JSON, which I was showing in cursor. And because I'm executing this for the first time here, so it will ask me whether I approve this operation or not. I can either do it once or I can just do always allow. Because this is a get operation, it is not updating any content. I will do always allow. But one should be mindful if you are updating something, then you should definitely keep on checking what query it is writing behind the scenes. Okay, it is doing some operations. So I can see what is happening here. So, oops, okay, let it work on its own. I can come back. Right. So now it has given me a report. I think it, maybe I just copied a wrong page. It is just queried one single child page and not all the pages. But uh, the idea is that it can traverse across multiple pages and it can check its status, whether it's published or not. And it can also give you a report which is very similar to this. What is the metadata? If something is missing, it will point out. And maybe as a next prompt, you can do something like convert this report into a CSV export so that you can send across to anyone. So this can be useful in creating any reports, which can be helpful for other teams you're working with. Right. So this is about MCP servers, and trust me, you can do a lot within this MCP servers. There are a lot of uh, tools which are exposed as part of these endpoints. As we can see here, there are 65 tools, and if I expand this and see, it has a lot of things, like it can create AEM pages, it can start workflows, it can create AEM launches, it can work on fragments and so on. So you can just hover on each of these tools here and see how an example prompt can look like, and you can basically test out if you want to. Right.
Yes. Thank you very much, Jineet, for putting this together for us. Really appreciate the
Yeah,
depth to which you have gone today, and this is quite wonderful. I can only see the excitement with the number of questions that I have received. So what I've been doing is
yeah,
also copying those questions because we don't want to lose them, and we'll make sure all of you, Kapil, Ramkumar, Arun, the rest of you, thank you very much for this. So what I'll do now, Janet, is if you stop sharing, I
yeah,
just have a couple of closing slides. Yeah,
sure.
so share screen is available for me. Great. Let me do this. Yes, so that was Jineet talking to us today, right? It's a wonderful session. Thank you so much. What's going to happen next? Right. So with these user group sessions, what we definitely want to do is to have an in-person event. This is going to happen in Amsterdam in summer. We want to keep the excitement, and we want to keep the discussion going forward with, let's say, meeting you all in person, right? So meeting all of you, our user group community. We plan to conduct that event not on the canal, but it is going to be in an office in Amsterdam. So all those details will definitely be communicated to you, through emails and through the user group page.
Yeah.
Um,
One more thing that I
yes,
mean, if you are nearby Amsterdam, yeah, you are very much welcome to join for the in-person event. But we will try to make it as an hybrid event itself. So if you unfortunately can't make it, you can still join the normal virtual way and attend the session.
yeah, that's a good point, Shruti, indeed. Um, what we also want to leave you with is that we're really looking forward for you, all our community members. We want you to be our next speaker, right? So maybe you have tried something with an AEM, maybe there is something that you want to share with the rest of us. So we really want you. We're looking for these registrations coming in to be our next speaker for the next session. We really appreciate one of you, volunteering for our future sessions. The last slide, because this is what I want to end with. We have the user group community page. Put the link here because this session is also going to be recorded. It's going to be put on the community page as well as on YouTube. Join us, be part of the community, right? So we really would appreciate all of your thoughts. It's great the kind of questions that I've received. I'm already seeing there's some responses to those questions as well. So yeah, it has been a wonderful session. I want to end by thanking Jineet again. So Jineet, thank you for putting this together for us. Thank you for sharing, the slides as well as the practical demonstration of how the agents and what AI actually means in AEM now. Right. So it's very wonderful. Um, Thank you very much. We're at the end of the hour. So thank you very much for all of you joining. And yeah, have a good day.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks, guys, and thanks, actually. Have a nice one.
Bye.
See you later.